Yeah, I think we're live. So, hi all. I welcome you to weekly sites meeting of Layer 5. I think this is second or I think it's third or fourth time that we are into this call. Accurately, I think it's the third call of the month. So, just like the name says, we discuss all the sites that is in the community, and like they are React based or some are Jekyll, some are Hugo based too. We talk about that. In fact, all the agenda item, and that includes open pull requests or issues that are in need of help, and any number of other suggestions or enhancements proposal that we get from you. It also covers items from UI UX and our design system. So this is the general overview on like areas we cover in this call. So feel free to head on to this Google Docs. I'll be quickly sharing this again in chat. Feel free to head on to this and share, like write your name in the attendees first. And then like in the respective site section, you can mention your agenda item. Like I said, many others have done already, so that's really nice. Now for this call, if you are joining this call for the very first time and are a newcomer, it's really nice to have you on this call. You can quickly unmute yourself and give a quick introduction, like maybe the technology that you are right now learning or are making projects in, where are you calling from, and details like this. So let's see who all we have got on this call, as a newcomer. I don't think it's the very first time for Apsara and their mic is, open. So Apsara, would you like to maybe say hi if this is the very first time if you're joining this call? I don't think so. Yeah, so just in case I muted you, let me know if you have anything to share. Then we have Aniket Datta with us. So Aniket, this is the first time you're joining us on this call.
No, actually, I've been contributing like for the past 2 weeks, I guess. I was working on the security vulnerabilities page.
Awesome.
So, yeah.
That's really nice, Aniket. So thanks for confirming. So Bhavya Goyal, is it the first time that you're joining this call? If yes, please go ahead and give your introduction if you would like to.
Hello, hi everyone. I'm Bhavya. I'm joining in from Delhi, India, and this is my first time joining this call.
Oh yeah, very welcome to the
Hello.
call. Yep, you're audible.
Yeah. Uh, is there anything else that I will have to share?
Yeah, so maybe you can talk about like which language that you're learning or are making projects in, and your year in school and your interest in general.
Okay, so currently I'm learning Python language, and I'm currently working on projects in the same. And I'm currently a professional, just starting professional in the finance field,
Mhm.
and just slowly integrating tech into my work. So yeah, that's about me.
That's really nice, and it's really good to have you on the call. Do you also mind letting us know where did you find the community from?
I actually found the community from Google search, and I'm just active on Discords,
Mhm.
the Discord server, and that's how, just like with the word of mouth, and interacting with the community and with people in who are active more into this field.
Okay. That really is very good thing to hear. Thanks a lot for your introduction, Bhavya. I think, by any chance, are you into React or JavaScript or simple HTML, CSS?
I'm still learning it because I am not actually a very like you know I'm
Hmm.
not a start. I'm not a person who's actually started with CS. So as
Hmm.
I mentioned, that I am integrating tech into my work and in my
Okay.
learning. So
Hmm.
yeah.
Yeah, that looks good. So maybe you can pick any good first item that we'll be having, which requires much less effort in terms of tech side of the things, and maybe more like documentation item, and from there you can get up to the speed. So we'll try our best to highlight those issues. Bhavya, thanks a lot for giving your intro.
Sure. Thank you so much for having me on this call.
Yeah. After that, so I think it's the very first time that Urvashi is joining us on this call. So do you mind going next and giving your introduction?
Yeah. Hi everyone.
Hi.
Urvashi, I am talking. So I have been contributing like past 1 week, and I have some issues in contributing that. This is my first time. This is my second, third time contributing, but contributing to the community or the projects part
Mhm.
is something which is like kind of difficult for me, so I'm facing some issues. And like my core technologies in like JS, React JS, and Node.js, Express.js, and some clouds also, and
Okay.
machine learning, Web3, all those.
Awesome. And I think you also have one item that we'll be discussing today. So that's really nice. Did you get the chance to list that out in this, meeting minutes by chance?
Yeah, sure, I can do that it now.
Yeah, that would work. Thanks a lot for your introduction, Vashi.
Thank you.
Any more newcomer, if you're on this call, please feel free to unmute yourself and give a quick introduction. And you also can do the same through chat box. So we'll wait for 10 seconds.
Hi, I'm Daniel.
Yeah, hi, Daniel. Please go ahead.
Yeah, I'm a newcomer here.
Yeah, very welcome.
I on community through LFX. So I'm mainly React and Java,
Mhm.
but I just started learning Go, and someone said it'd be a nice way to get my hands kind of get my hands dirty with Go.
Yeah,
I'm contributing to many. So yeah.
yeah, perfectly. So, yes, there are some good, like getting started items open in Go area that I quickly will highlight. So there's this repo where you can actually find it. So this is the GitHub org for Mishri project, and inside this there's a repository called Mishri. So, and there, using the labels, you can filter through various areas. Specifically for Golang, you can look for Meshri CTL, which is the CLI, client for Meshri. So this label and also server. So these are two areas from where you can get started and make yourself familiar with. So I'll quickly share the link to this in chat. And we talk more about such Golang items in dev meeting, which is also a weekly meeting happening every you know Wednesday. So day after tomorrow, we will be having that meeting, and there we talk more about Kubernetes and DevOps and Golang stuff. Once again, thanks a lot for joining the call, Daniel. It's really nice to have you.
Thanks, man.
All right, folks, looks like it. We will be now starting with the agenda items. Once again, before I do that, let me, grab this link and share in the chat box that if you're missing, you can simply head on and write your name in the attendees. And if you have any open issues or pull requests, you can simply mention them into the respective section of the site. We will be starting with the standing agenda item, and which basically is about Cloud Native catalog. And there's an open ask for that catalog. So let me quickly also show you where is that catalog. Yeah, so this is it. There are designs, models. If you go to designs, these are Kubernetes infrastructure applications in form of design. And when you interact with them, you get to know what it actually is about and who is the author. And if you would like to open that in a live Kubernetes cluster environment, you simply can do that as well, where you will get access to a live embedded terminal that you can utilize. You don't just have to leave the browser to manage the life cycle of your Kubernetes infrastructure. You can do everything in the same UI, the browser-based UI. You don't need to install anything else. Everything is already available for you, and that too free of cost. So yeah, simply we can go to any one of these design applications and can open and see what they are about. And it's also a very nice, tool to learn DevOps or Kubernetes if you're someone who is aspiring to, have some knowledge around this area. So these are designs. You again can filter based on the technology and category too. Now, this specific issue, which is open and is a help wanted, is basically to, to make a call for volunteers. So if you would like to sign up for this, you can comment and we can get you assigned. Now, you don't have to be knowledgeable about Cloud Native or Kubernetes. You simply can grab applications from these example repositories. So these are learning material. For example, there's a example repo on Kubernetes examples. So in the Kubernetes official org, there's examples repo, and there are multiple examples of applications. For example, this one, Guestbook Go. It will definitely have various supported format that the tool supports. Now, what's the tool that I'm talking about? It basically is the catalog only. There's a browser-based tool, and like all those instructions, I have like tried my best to include in this. There's also a blog on how you can import some already defined infrastructure, or if you like to start from very scratch, or let's say you want to start from some template. So there's a guide around that too. So I'll quickly share this blog in the chat box. For the tool, it would be at this location. Again, that I shared in the chat. So it's at play.mystery.io. You can read more about it on the page. So yeah, since Liben is on the call, and for past couple of meetings, we have been asking Liben, and we have been simply confirming if he has any updates to share. So Liben, would you like to share any information or updates on this particular item that you're assigned?
Yeah, I try to publish one design. I don't think it's approved or rejected. If it's rejected, do I get feedback or that?
Yep.
the workflow? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
No response so far, but I try to publish one to see like if I'm right track.
Yeah. So like that's whatever Liben just mentioned is, whenever you try to publish any design, they go through a approval queue. So admins and the reviewers, and the maintainers, they take a look at the quality of your design and whether or not the descriptions and caveats are in place. And then like if everything is okay, they will just simply approve, and then it will be available to various catalog that we have. One of them is this site. It's a static site, but then there's another place where we have catalog, which is much more, I should say, appealing, and like it has a couple of more information exposed. For example, if it will load, I'll be able to show you. Yes, this is it. So again, this is same copy of the design items, but at a different place, much more powerful system. Like here, like you can see the top performing designs. Then also you can track the metrics. For example, if you see on this design, these icon and the number, the figure next to them, it really means something. Now what it does, you will find that in our docs, but how many times it has been shared, and how many times folks have like downloaded it for use, or just simply have cloned, those kind of details are like denoted by these icons in there. So that's one thing. Then like there's a leaderboard as well, which like tracks folks who are very actively publishing such designs. So I was just saying that once your catalog item gets approved, it will be available to this catalog, then this catalog, and any number of other places where we have these designs. So very nice work, Liben. As and when your design gets through, it will be available and for us all to see and take a look. So any folks who would like to give it a try, you simply can comment. Let me see if I quickly like shared this already. I have not, so I'll drop the link in chat. You can simply comment, and that way we'll be able to assign you. I'll wait for 5 seconds to see if there's anyone who would like to volunteer for this item. All right, so I just take it you will be doing it after the call if you get interest. Now, the next item is also on catalog only, and it's about creating more templates. So such like designs. These are like templates which are in need of be making, and again, since they have pretty detailed description, let's not repeat those again. But if you just simply would like to get some inspiration, you can go through these closed templates and see how folks have worked on them, and from there you can draw some inspiration to create your own template. So again, you will have to comment on these issues in order to get assigned. There's also like other resources that you might need, for example, access to our design files or like system. So it's already mentioned there. So I'll once again share the link in the chat box. And if I quickly take you to the playground, where actually these templates will be available once it's published. Like when you work on it and it will be published, it will be available there. So it will be at this location. And then I quickly intend to show you these starting templates, if it will load. So like the URL is already in chat. Let's circle back to this one. So yeah, it already is. So that's nice. Yeah, so this is the Canvas tool that I was talking about. And you see some, like, as you click on getting started, it will walk you through a couple of scenarios. And if you click these ones, like example, configure a Kubernetes pod, if you click on it, it will load that particular template, which has all the instructions on how you can, design a Kubernetes pod and how you can deploy it. So a visual walkthrough of things. It should like render in here. Yeah, there you go. So just like if you're familiar with some visual tool like Figma, it's also the same. So same set of instructions as well. So you can go deep and can also zoom out and enough other things. So this is a guide. You also can utilize it for your illustrations, or let's say you are giving some workshop somewhere, so for that purposes. But these are some starting templates that I just wanted to point out. We will quickly head back to our standing agenda items. I think we are done with it. Next up, we will be taking a look at some things at this site, which is layer5.io. Let me quickly share this in chat. It's a Gatsby site, which is a React framework, also a static site generator. So the very first thing is about, if someone wants to contribute to this site, they need to build it locally. And in that process, there are a couple of things that often folks run into, like erroring out while building and any number of other things due to like bottleneck in memory or other areas. So there's a guide from one of the maintainers, Jihan, on how you can selectively build a certain part of the site in order to in order to not overwhelm your system. So this has worked for a couple of folks, but it has not been like silver bullet for everyone who is in here. So I think we will have some update on that. I think I saw a pull request from Liban, who is also on the call. And let me take a look if we have Mahadevan. Yeah, we do. So I think Liban, would you like to share that update of yours? I don't see it in here.
Let me share the pull request.
Yeah, okay. Also, while Liban is doing that, as you go to the site, you will find the contributing.md. I'll have to mute you, Liban, due to background noise. So as you come back, please let me know. So I'll quickly take you to the repository that the site is, where the code of the site actually is. So for anyone who would like to set this site locally, you can take a look at the contributing.md, which will have setup instructions, like making sure that node and npm is installed, and then installing Gatsby, and then cloning the repo, and any number of other things. Most importantly, these two, like first of all, installing all dependencies and then spinning up the dev server. So we already have those commands, in a make file for convenience for folks who are building. So already, like, this is, you will like readily find it onto the repo and in the code tab. I think I've got a pull request link from Liban, so I'll quickly open that. And what I think it is trying to address is basically making multiple parallel queries to speed up some of the queries that we do, which are basically GraphQL queries. So in the site, we have multiple collections, which are a group of, and a type of content. So for blogs, we have a collection. For member profile, we have a collection, and those are in Markdown format. A couple of them are in HTML format. Now, whenever we are building site, we like take all the collections as source of truth, and using GraphQL, we just query those data and publish, any number of pages. I think about 200 plus pages are there. Like, I don't think I'm exaggerating there, because there actually are these many pages. So Levin, would you like to talk about the changes that you have done?
Yeah, sure. So basically the change is about when you use Gatsby image component. So it uses the plugin that's called Gatsby plugin Sharp. So for Sharp for Gatsby basically. So what it tries to do is since there's a configuration for placeholder, until the full resolution of the full resolution of the image is loaded, it's going to load the blurred version of that. So that's going to cause additional memory. So while in development, it's okay if we don't see the blurry one, and if you don't see it's something that's empty. So it's going to yeah. And for the parallel queries, I found it somewhere and just tried it. It seems to be using multiple cores. Yeah, but the main thing is, since there are a lot of images, limiting the image processing might kind of minimize the RAM that's needed to run the project.
Yeah, you're right. So for this one, the Gatsby plugin Sharp, which I think is a plugin for getting all those, like running query for getting the images. So you have like placeholder is dev none and blurred. Okay. Like does it okay, yeah, I think since you have already mentioned it, so it does recognize this is dev, right? Or this is just variable introduced by you?
Yeah, it's a variable introduced at the top. It should be somewhere at the top.
All right. So after this, like, did you try building the site locally and did you get any like, helpful results?
Yes, yes. It kind of improves its by a little bit. Yeah. Still, it needs more than 8 GB RAM, but I think even now it works for 16 GB RAM.
Yeah, okay. Did you quote a percentage? Like, did I hear you saying that it improved by 18%?
Not 80%, maybe maybe one or two.
Okay.
It used to crash on 16 GB RAM, but now I think it needs maybe like to run more than 8 GB RAM, like maybe 9 or 10.
Okay.
On that, it runs now
Mhm.
without crashing.
All right. So just quick pointers. So for building the site, like it is really heavy, and for those who are looking to contribute and don't have access to like machine which is like more than 8 gigs, you can make use of Gitpod or maybe code spaces. But yeah, this is a like good step for us to do, like seeing if we can optimize the image processing more. So Mahadevan, do you have any pointers?
Yeah,
Like,
it's a small change, and yeah, if it's helping us improve the developer experience, then this is great.
yeah. So we might as well try to like combine this one and this guide from Jihan to see like if this really optimizes or is of any help. All right, thanks for this update, Liban. Let me get rid of some of these tabs. Yeah, all right. I'll also quickly drop this link in chat so that if anyone has any feedback, you simply can sound off. So any questions or any feedback from anyone on the call onto this particular subject? We'll wait for 5 seconds. I don't think we do. So let's keep going ahead, and then we have this item from Pranjal. Let's see if we have Pranjal on call. Yeah, we do. So Pranjal, would you mind sharing your screen and talking about the issue and then also your fix?
Yeah, I'm sharing my screen.
Yeah, okay.
So this is the website currently, and long names get cut off because the height is static. It's currently 235 px, I think. So I have removed the static height and I have changed it from Flexbox to grid. So yeah, it still doesn't look very good. I'm not very good at UX design, so if anyone has any tips, I
Yeah.
can change.
Yeah, so like you have rightly pointed that it has much white spaces like beyond the name for those who have shorter names. So yeah. Alternatively, it can be that if we want to, put that three dot if a name is extending beyond a little, beyond a limit, or like it might not be a good idea because this is a community member page and we want to display their full name. So then a couple of things come to mind. Instead of resorting to some grid or some other, pattern like the fixed height that was causing this issue, why cannot we stick to Flexbox? Because and like this has been a feedback, consistent feedback. So if we are using Flexbox, we will try our best to like, have the required changes using Flexbox only before moving on to grid. Like that will be the last thing that we would like to do. So were you not able to like make it work with Flexbox? I think there are a couple of things like Flex Shrink, Flex Grow, and Flex.
Yeah, I tried that. With Flexbox, the height of every grid item will not be the same. Like suppose this row
Mhm.
will have only the height which is required. Like it will not have the extra height which is required by due to this name.
Yeah, so I was just saying that with the variations of like for a particular container or item, flex item, with the variation of height and width, and then like these three values, flex, grow, shrink, and basis, like I am like pretty sure that this can be achieved without for us the need like, without the need to like manually track or like making changes to all of these. And like this is pretty rare for us to have this much longer name. It might be like for 5 to 6 members, but not for all of them. So even if one card is a little longer than other, that makes sense. But I'm sure that if we remove the static height and then resort to, these three values, we can achieve it the same without the need of grid.
Yeah, I'll try that.
Yeah, because Flexbox can really get like complex when you try it with different like maybe fixed height, or if you don't give it a height and then you try to utilize like playing around with these values, it really works sometimes and like it works wonders. So you might try doing that.
Yeah, and there are some more changes here. So instead of Gatsby develop, which requires the Gatsby CLI to be installed on your local machine, it has been changed to npx Gatsby develop, which uses the Gatsby CLI installed in the node modules folder. So
You
you
also,
don't need
Mhm.
so you don't need the Gatsby CLI installed globally.
Yeah, so you've also done it for the Gatsby clean. Yeah, so that like make clean will not error out there. Yeah, it looks good. Any comment from anyone?
Yeah, the changes in the make file look good. The card, the suggestions that you gave are correct. So, yeah, it's good.
All right, that was helpful update, Pranjal. Yeah, like we would want to stick with Flexbox as much as we can do, and if like there's a need for us to migrate, definitely we'll go ahead. But yeah, I'll go ahead and share your pull request so that folks who are like CSS Ninja in the audience, they can go and help us out, or anyone who would like to lend a helping hand, they can go ahead and see. I think that was all for the Layer5.io site. I'm sure there are a couple of folks who might have some update, but maybe we're not, we don't have them in the call. But I'll quickly like to make this call for volunteer on, I think that's also was made on previous site call. So we have a handbook section on the site. Before that, let me quickly share the link to the issue. Yeah, so this is a section and it has multiple subsections. For example, Meet 5, which is, for example, our mascot. You can read about his journey through this particular part. It's really interesting if you give it a read. Right now, he's on his journey in the cloud native universe, and the fuel for his rocket ship, what it is, and how you can help him move faster and not getting stuck. That also detail you will find into this journey of him, like the story for his journey. And similarly, there are any number of other sections, but the thing is, it really doesn't have consistent or like style, and there are a couple of conflicting CSS classes and styles, and we want to get rid of them. So this is an area which is in need of investigation too. So folks who would like to give it some time, they can go and see for different sections the styling that are defined. If there's any conflict, or we would like use help for some getting rid of some of those maybe redundant stylings. and then like making sure that everything is cleaned up. So there was a effort from Aditi, but I think that's closed out, and so this is an help wanted area. If you feel like working on it, you simply can drop the comment, and we'll be able to get you assigned to this item. Couple of other folks come to mind, like Manoj, who just demonstrated a fix for some similar, white space fix deck issue on the last site's call. They are individuals to reach out to in case you want to collaborate, or you simply might need some help because they might have some idea as they have been working in this area. Let me check if we have Manoj on this call. Yeah, we do. He is already in the call, so.
Yes, Vivek. Yes, I wanted to work on that. So I was thinking trying to fix my build issue with the PC. So if I could completely get it up and running the Layer 5 website, so I thought I would pick that up again.
Awesome. Thanks a lot, Manoj. All right, so I have dropped this, issue in the chat. With that, we move on to the next site, and it's a Hugo site. It's documentation for Layer 5 products. I'll quickly share that in chat. Let's see if we have either Himanshu or Ayush. Looks like we don't, but there might be a conflict in the way they have this PR up. Like for a same issue, the two of them have, the same PR up, and Mahadevan is like, I think has reviewed. Mahadevan, would you like to sound off if you have some context?
Yeah, so both of the main issues that one of the icons on the docs page has a background, and both the PRs have the same fix, which is to just globally remove, turn background transparent. I have reviewed both the PRs and I have the same feedback for both. That is what's the root issue? Why is it that that specific canvas SVG having a background? It could be that the canvas SVG by default has a background. It could be that,
Yeah.
but so maybe making a global fix like this may not be appropriate in case we have other images which use the same.
Yeah, definitely. So we don't want anyone to make changes to maybe main CSS styles or for example, theme files that we have. Also, I'm not sure if so since there's a couple of instances where I have gone through PRs and I see folks having more changes into the pull request than is pertinent to the particular ask. I simply request all of you on the call, if you are having some PR up or have some formatting or prettier changes, please revert because it really helps reviewing, and it keeps the changes minimal to the required task at hand. So that's really helpful. Yeah, so it looks like both of them are in need of incorporating the feedback that you have given, and yeah, I really agree on this one. So yeah, does anyone have any feedback or anything to share? You can simply drop your thoughts onto the PR. I'll quickly share that in chat. And let's move back to the next site, which is a Jekyll site. Much like Hugo, it's also one of the static site generator and used to be pretty popular back in the day. It's old framework, and we have been utilizing it. It has been pretty reliable, and we have much integrations with it. The very first item is from Mahadevan, and let's quickly ask him for sharing his update.
Yeah, I'll share my screen now. Yeah, share my screen. Okay, I've started sharing my screen. Please let me know if it's not visible. So we have a parent issue. Just a quick update on that. A parent issue which contains around 14 issues, which is to create a handbook page for Meshri.io. A PR has been raised for almost all of them. One of the PRs that I have raised is for the repository overview page, which you can find here. So this is the repository overview page that I have created, and I have taken this page as inspiration. So only the Meshri organization and Meshri extensions organization repos have been considered. And yes, a lot of Meshri organization, Meshri extensions repository projects have to be added. A small change that I have to incorporate is to change this logo to something else. I couldn't find another logo within the assets folder. So yeah, I've taken out all the relevant folders for Meshri and Meshri extensions and added it here. The styles are, this is one practice that if any of you working on the handbook page present should follow. Please keep all the styles in the handbook.scss. So I've just created a table class and trying to keep it consistent for the tables across this page. So yes, one final thing just for the issue is that once all the PRs are merged, we can just have one PR to just clean up all the CSS and just, because a lot of redundant CSS might be there since many of you are having their own CSS to match the styles on these pages. So yeah, this is my PR.
Yeah.
These
Would
changes.
you like to show the mobile view of the table?
Yes. So okay, yes, it overflows. Right. I did not account for that. Yeah, I'll look into this and make sure the table is.
So Mahadevan, like I was quickly, yeah, I was just saying that there's already a table style somewhere defined. If you go to this particular page, which is like talks and presentations, let me quickly share that link.
Yeah.
It right now, like it appears to be broken because there's simply no data, but it can be a good first issue for someone to go and update with the contributor training sessions that we had. So let me quickly share that page. Yeah, so I'll quickly start sharing my screen.
Yes, thank you.
Hopefully you all can see my screen. So this is one page where we have this table, and in fact, this is the table header, and if it had data, it would display all of them. Now for these tutorials, anyone who is on the call and would like some good first issue to get started with, I have a request to make, and maybe I'll open an issue, and that is in here. Information like tutorials from this page can go. It will be at this place. So you see, these are similar in nature, not the style, but the format. So these new ones, these just can be copied pasted from this particular site and put into this site. So the structure is already there. You just simply need to have this data in a format that's like understood by this particular section on the site. So anyone who would like to sign up, I'll open an issue, and then if you have any question, you can ask. And I think what I wanted to say is that we simply just can reuse this particular table styling in place of like where Mahadevan is having some, custom styling, because then he also needs to have make sure that it's responsive and other kind of things. So we might try utilizing this, and if it doesn't look good, then we can like again go back to Mahadevan's style. So Mahadevan, what do you think?
Yeah, I think this is pretty valid. We need to have just one common styling for tables across the site. So any one of them, once fixed, can be incorporated. So this is good.
Yeah, thanks a lot, Mahadevan. So anyone would like to work on this good first issue? Or if you would want me to repeat, I also can do that. I don't think so. Yeah, so we have got Naman and we have got Daniel. So yeah, there's a request for repeating. I'll quickly do that. So there's this, what to say, whatever this is, the text and this table. Now this table renders a list of tutorials just like this one. And it does that by reading from a data file, which will be at this URL. So we are into the GitHub repo of this particular site. It's a Jekyll site. And inside this site, there's a data_data folder. And just like the name suggests, you will have any data that you have, for example, in CSV format or YAML format or JSON format into this particular folder. Here, you will have to create a tutorial.yaml file, exactly tutorial.yaml file. And inside that file, you will need to have all the data for this one, these many tutorials in a YAML friendly way. So if you take a look at this testimonials.yaml, yeah, so in this format, like this is a syntax for YAML arrays. You will also need to have data which is available in here in this format only, and then automatically that will show up at this tutorial section as you try to build the code locally. So yeah, that's all. Now where you can get information about these particular tutorial is at this URL. Layer 5, and there would be a file. Tutorials and index.js. Okay. Yeah, but like you would find the detail about slides and recordings in here. All right, let me also share this in chat. So like it would be helpful if any one of you like to go ahead by opening issue and one of you will like to work on it, or if you want me to open an issue and then you can work on it. So either way works. Let me know what you would like to do, Naman and Daniel. Yeah, all right, I'll go ahead by opening an issue. Thanks a lot for sounding off, Naman. Yeah. Then we have these two items from Rudra. Let's see if we have. Okay, it's Rahul. I guess Rudra might be your last name, but we don't have them on the call. Also, just a quick heads up that these items are on Meshri UI, which is not part of this call. It is discussed on the dev meeting, so you can join that meeting and can discuss with the maintainers. Then we have this item from Aniket on adding a security vulnerability. Yeah, like I really struggle how to pronounce this page, but suffice to say this is one of the section in the handbook. Let me quickly open up that page. Yeah, so this is the handbook section, and just like we were saying on the other side, it has multiple sections, subsections. Now, the one that Aniket is working on is this page. It's like just blank right now, but let's see if we have Aniket on the call. Yeah, we do. Aniket, would you
Yeah,
share your
hi.
screen? Yeah, hi.
Yeah, I'm sharing this. Yeah, so this is the page. Wait, is it visible?
Yes, it is.
Yeah. So this is the styling. Right now I have this this one vulnerability I've listed from the layer 5 page.
Mhm.
Is there any other vulnerabilities that I should list, I should know about?
I think only one was declared on that set as well.
Yeah,
So we remove.
so this is in light mode. So
It's really nice that you
I've reduced the number of CSS, some redundancies was there. I was talking with Madhavan, so he pointed out. So I've reduced it as much as possible. So if you could review this, if anything else needs to be done, then
Yeah. Where does that new issue takes you to?
yeah.
Where does, if you scroll up, there's this new issue, hyperlink. Where does that take you?
Oh,
yeah.
it takes me here.
Okay. So I think it should take you to Mishri/Mishri repo and not this one.
Okay. So I'll change this.
Yeah. And
It's
also if you go back, yeah, then you have a project repositories here. That I think takes you to repository overview page, right? If you can click on that.
yeah, it takes to the main this page.
Okay. So it's like right now, okay, because we don't have a repository overview page just now. But as Madhavan demonstrated, once we have that, we'll need to update that link to point to that particular page. So, but
Yeah,
this looks good. The security @mishra.io, I'm sure if you click on it and you okay, yeah, so you're prompted to send that email. That's awesome.
yeah.
Okay, if you scroll up, do you have some styling? Yeah. I'm not sure if this if we would want to have that background.
Yeah, the header, that background can be removed.
This background, should I remove it and like make it similar to the black background there?
Yeah, similar to the black background, I guess.
Okay.
Yeah, the default one will be there. It's there
Like
by
the default one. Okay.
Yeah, this really looks good. Anyone has any thoughts or feedback? Or if you simply once go to the mobile view. Yeah, do we have any?
Yeah, some general like content, like some padding and overall. Can you go to the table? I think we'll have to use the table, which either whenever that one is fixed. I'm not sure if the blog is needed, but because it's a security slam blog, we can keep it here. I'm not sure if about the blog.
I think we can keep the security slam. We can point to the open board that has multiple security items folks can look out to, but definitely we can use some padding left-right padding.
Okay. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'll look into this.
Mhm. Yeah, all right. And for the table to the same feedback. So once Mahadevan is able to incorporate that table into his PR, you might want to take a look at his PR and then incorporate the same.
Okay, I'll check that.
Yeah, let's wait for maybe 5 seconds if anyone else has any thoughts or feedback. Levin, do you have any other thoughts?
No, but regarding the padding, let's make it consistent throughout the websites. Let's not give different padding. If there's a way we can do it globally to manage that, that would be nice. If not, let's make it.
Yeah, that's awesome point. And in fact, Mahadevan mentioned that there's a handbook.css where we can have some global style for this particular section only. So yeah, that is where we might want to include that padding style. All right. Thanks a lot for your updates, Aniket. Do you have anything else to share? Looks like you don't.
No, as of now, it's all right. So I'll just change that link and look for the padding. Like, will Mahadevan put any global padding there, or should I experiment in my own also?
Yeah, Mahadevan will do that in the handbook.css, I think.
Okay.
Also, the table one, you again can take a look at Mahadevan's PR one. Yeah. All right. Looks like then we have next PR from Naman, and I think Naman is on the call.
Hello, am I audible?
Yeah, you are.
Can you go to the issue? I'm not connected to my laptop.
Yeah, okay. Let me open it up.
So it was basically the contribution page for the handbook, and I've completed I think the reviews which was given, and also added a responsive code block. So when we are in the mobile view, we can get a horizontal scroll for the code blocks.
I really don't think we will want to have, this much green. To give you some example, if you go to a landing page, the installation part, which has like example of code sections, for example, if we click on this one, let's have the code blocks in this, the styling should follow the same. It should be consistent throughout the.
Vivek, I think that is the default code block which we use in our blogs as well.
This one?
Yeah, in blogs it says. So yeah, we'll have to change the global style.
Yeah, but if this is default, I don't think there has been some modifications made into the landing page code blocks, or maybe like the background or anything else is hard coded somewhere. Like, are you sure that that's the color that we have?
I remember in the blogs, this is the code block which we use. I haven't checked out this section.
Yeah, okay. Let's go back to the contribution. So yeah, the very first thing could be that right now, like until and unless someone, tries to hover onto it, like it doesn't really make it evident that it's indeed a code block. Also, like there's no copy to clipboard. So what you basically can do, I think you are not using, and you may not be just simply aware, but you simply can utilize the same include for code block, which you will find example of onto the landing page and into this section. So you just simply have to mention the command that you have and include that code block, and it will just simply render it. You don't have to write any other styles too. And it will also have that copy to clipboard button. Does that make sense, Naman?
Yes. I will do it. Thank you.
Yeah. All right, we have some introduction. We have got some prerequisites, okay. General contribution flow. Clone your fork. This needs to be changed, and then add upstream repo to the list of. You link to that side, that's good. I think this is too big. The image. You might add some max width or similar stuff. Yeah, so we just might add some max width to these images, Naman.
Okay. What's the
Yeah, you can take inspiration from the blog pages. In blog
Okay.
pages, since they also have images, they have some max width in place. Yeah, like this overall looks good. Anyone has any feedback or thoughts, any suggestions to offer? I see some comments from Mahadevan. So yeah, like it has already been suggested, so that's awesome. Yeah, we also like take a look at the, suggestions by Gemini. It really sometimes gives some very smart suggestions. So, but it's not that you have to incorporate each and every feedback from Gemini, but yeah, it would be mostly yes. So yeah, this like mostly looks to me as a content edition and not too much styling, or I may be missing. No, it is not. So that's like really good. And I don't think anyone else has any feedback for you. And I think we already talked about the clipboard and the images one. Apart from that, it looks good to me. One thing that you would like to maybe make sure is that the heading that the level of heading that we're utilizing, so it should be consistent with the other sections that we have. For example, community page and others, where we have this main heading, then the subheading, and similarly, like as it goes down, it should be very consistent. So does this all make sense to you, Naman?
Like, should I make it all like center aligned?
No, not standard aligned, but I think you're already following it. Like if, for example, let's say if this is an H1, then it should be H2, and there should not be any other
Okay.
H1 mentioned in here. And now where you will get that example is in a couple of the sections on the site. So you simply can see
Okay.
and confirm if the consistent there.
Okay, sure. I'll do that.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. Thanks a lot for your updates. Looks like then we have this update from Urvashi on the community projects page. And yeah, Urvashi, would you like to share your screen and walk us through the issue and then the fix that you have done?
Sure. Is my screen visible to you?
Yeah, it is.
Okay. So this is what I have added.
All right. I don't think that we would want to have that much bigger, title for the project. You can use some font size, like, lower font size. Let me also, if you go to the same section on the inspiration site, are you aware of that site?
Yeah.
If you once go there, or I'll quickly share the link.
Okay. Can you quickly share the link, please?
Yep. Yeah, I just shared that into the chat.
Okay. Okay. But I think I have to add the mystery part only, I guess.
And now if you open yours, the deploy preview of your PR, so maybe we also can use the, icons. You will find them readily into the brand page. And also you can reduce the, font size of the Mishri and Mishri.io, like those title of green title. And since this is, okay, so we don't necessarily link to point to the same site like this one, Mishri.io. Or maybe we can link to the GitHub repo for these. So instead of pointing to Mishri.io site, we can point to the GitHub repo where the code is located for this site, and similarly for other, projects. If you once hover onto the Mishri catalog.
I guess it is opening the website. Okay.
Yeah, also we would not want to have this description which includes service mesh. So Mishri does well beyond service meshes. We have like moved past that, and it has been years. In fact, we have a blog tool which tells like how Mishri is not just a service mesh tool. And so if you're not sure of the description, you can go to Git, like Mishri projects, Mishri repositories, README, and from there you simply can copy paste the description. So just as a rule of thumb, we don't want to mention service mesh anywhere.
Okay.
I think you have got three feedback. One, like reduce the font size. Second, include the icon. Third, do not include service meshes anywhere. And I think your changes will also be pretty minimal because you already only are adding content. And if you try to like scroll up, if you want, scroll up a little. I mean to say, if you go, above, like to the top of the page. Yeah, okay. Like probably we would want to have that starting Meshri text that you have beyond the projects and Meshri community projects handbook, and below that, we would want to like make that bigger and all these smaller comparatively. Yeah, I mean just below, just above this line, the one word that you have Meshri, that should like be bigger.
Okay, got it.
Any thoughts or feedback from anyone? I don't think so. So thanks a lot for your updates.
Thank you.
All right, looks like it. That's it for today's call because we are on time. So that would be it, folks. Thanks a lot for joining this call. Before we wrap it up, I'll quickly share with you the meeting calendar. So if you would like to be part of a couple of other meetings that we have throughout the week, which are like on different topics, you also can attend them. And I encourage you to, because that way only you will be able to see how others are working and which areas are being discussed. So on Wednesday, we have this dev meeting that is on Meshri. On Thursday, we have newcomers meeting. And also, if you notice, yeah, this coming Thursday, we have a session on contributor training session on Meshri models and how folks can also contribute their own model and what a model can be. We can simply go to the catalog and can see for ourselves. So we go to models, and in here we should be able to see one model called exoscale icons. And I'm not sure if it's my bandwidth which is not loading the logo or if it's just some issue. So for that, I'll quickly share this in chat and ask if you are also not able to see. Let me again.
It's visible for me locally.
Yep, it is. Yeah, so this is the exoscale icon that is published by none other than Mahadevan himself. And yeah, folks can also, if you have some custom model for you also can publish that. And how you would like to do that, there's instructions on that. Again, I think this is weird. There's some dark mode issues. I mean this has to be taken care of, and I'll file and fix for this. But for now, let's not go much detail into models, because that will anyway be covered onto this particular meeting. So yeah, if you would like to, I think this would be a great opportunity for you to know about these models, and also if you like to contribute your own custom model. The detail of everything will be into this calendar, and so for that purpose, I'll quickly share it in chat. And yeah, with that, I thank you all for joining this call. We'll see you next Monday. In the meantime, if you're working on any sites item and you need help, you can sound off into the website channel in Slack.